Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the HK Rifle Works YouTube channel. Now, before we get into the video, I just wanted to touch on a few things. First off, I wanted to say thanks for taking the time to watch these videos. I know the world is crazy right now, everyone is super busy, but just want to let you know I really appreciate y'all taking your time to hang out with me. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, share with your friends, because we got a lot more coming that way, in your way. Next, I wanted to just comment on audio. I'm still trying to balance out audio when we're shooting, when I'm using an external microphone. I'm trying to get it to where it's balanced accordingly and my voice isn't louder in some spots and softer in some spots. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, but just know we're trying to get that figured out. And last but not least, I was reviewing some of the footage, especially on the scope cam, and I wanted to kind of convey these target sizes on this range. So at the range that I shoot at, we have a 550-yard range, and we have smaller targets, and then we have a 1,000-yard range that has bigger targets like full-size silhouettes and 2/3 silhouettes, so on and so forth. But I was looking at some of these target sizes, and I probably should know their size off the top of my head, but I wanted to just touch base and figure out what size targets we were shooting at today. And anyway, so I was looking at it, and you'll see in the video that my spotting scope has a milling reticle, and I was taking my targets, or taking those targets, and looking at how many mils they took up in that reticle. So for example, a mil at 100 yards is 3.6 inches, right? There is some 400-yard targets that you'll see. So I'm gonna do 3.6 times 4 is 14.4. So at 400 yards, a mil is 14.4 inches. And I noticed a good bit of those targets took up half of a mil. So I'm gonna divide that by 2. So a good bit of the targets at the 400-yard range took up about 7.2, or we'll just call them about 8 inches, I would guess. And this is just kind of a rough estimate. So they're fairly small targets at distance. I've noticed at the 550-yard range too, some of the targets, like especially the diamonds and the silhouettes, the width of the silhouettes especially, took up about half a mil as well. So say we did 3.6 inches, which is, again, that's a mil at 100 yards, times 5.5, that would be 550 yards, equals 19.8 inches. So a mil is 19.8 inches at 550 yards. So since it took up half a mil on our target, we're just gonna divide that by 2. And it turns out to be about, some of these targets are about 10 inches at 550 yards. But anyways, we'll get to the video. Thanks for bearing with me. I just wanted to kind of figure out with y'all what size targets we were shooting at today, because I don't think the video portrayed it perfectly well. Enjoy. Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the HK Rifle Works YouTube channel. Today we are taking the Mark 12 out past the 100-yard range, and we're gonna try and stretch it out to about 550 today. We're still in low development right now, but we have got, I loaded up about 50 of our most accurate and our best SD loads. And again, we're just having fun today. We'll still complete load development and make sure we dial this rifle in to where it needs to be. But for right now, we're just gonna have some fun. Anyways, my glasses are fogging up. Don't be like me. I'm gonna shoot without glasses today, because it's super humid down here in the southeast, and it's really hot today too, so we're sweating. But anyways, we got the scope cam up. The first targets we're gonna shoot are going to be at right about 400 yards. And for this rifle, with this bullet and the velocity that we're getting, we're shooting about 2630. We're gonna push it to get a bit harder than that, but for right now, just this mild load is going about 2625, 2630. Our SD is about, it's in the mid-20 range, so it's kind of high. We're going to try and get that down for sure, maybe in the teens. But again, for match rifles and stuff like that, we're definitely looking single-digit SDs. But with tack powder and everything, around 20, maybe in the high teens, I think is fairly acceptable for it. So for 200 yards with this, we are at 2.3 mils. And yeah, let's get it. I'll do a little picture-in-picture as well so y'all can see everything that's going on. All right, so I don't know how well y'all can hear me on this mic. I've got a little mic sitting right here next to my face. I'm going to move it over here. So, we are going to start. We'll just shoot this left-hand target right here. It is a small silhouette. See where we land. Dink. Looks pretty good. We'll go over to the rightmost target. It's a square. And these targets are all, at these distances, once we start getting out a little further, they're about 2 MOA targets. So they're fairly tiny. You'll see the smaller ones when we shoot out a little bit further. But we will move over to the small square. See where we hit. Dink. So our elevation looked pretty good, maybe a little high, and then a little bit to the right. So we'll go back. There is a small square second from the left. Try this one out. We're going to hold. We're actually going to favor a little left on this target. Dink. All right. So it's pretty safe to say that we can smack this up from here. Let me reset the camera, let me reset the scope cam, and we will take it out to about 550 yards. See there. All right, so we're back and we're set up at the 550 yard mark here. With the load that we're doing, this is going to be 4.3 mils. And just with the 400 yard targets, there are 4 targets out there. We've got a diamond, 2 silhouettes in the middle, and then a smaller diamond on the right side. Again, that's left from right. So let's take a look at that second from left target. It's a silhouette. Again, we are at 4.3 mils. Everything looks good. We've got some mirage, a little boil coming from left to right. It's not a crazy left to right wind, so we're going to hold on the left-hand side of this target and see if we hit it. That was right in his head. We're a little high. So our windage was good. We'll drop it down 0.2, look about center mass, but I mean, first round headshot at 550 yards isn't too bad with our load that actually isn't completed yet. So let's do it again. And I probably should have said in the beginning of this video, but myself and a couple other friends of mine that are shooting at the range, we actually took this out to the 1,000 yard range, which y'all will see at some point with this rifle and plenty of other rifles. But we took it out to the 1,000 range, and with this ammunition here, we were hitting probably about 3 out of 5 at 880 yards out there. So once we complete this load, get it going just a little bit faster, I really think that we could probably hit the 1,000 yard mark. Maybe not extremely consistently, but maybe the 1,000 yard mark. And I'm actually thinking about doing a load with the tipped Match King. This is a hollow point Match King. So I know that those are able to go. Black Hills loads that bullet, and we're going to probably try it too in this rifle. It's going to bump our BC up a good bit. I think this BC is around 0.36, 0.37, and that'll get us up to a 0.42. I'm also going to try a mount a bolt action precision rifle too. So let's quit the yapping and get back to shooting. So we dropped our elevation by 0.2, which looks about right. Our windage was pretty good. We're going to do the same hold just on the left side. It looks like the wind has died down just a tad, but we'll still hold left edge. And if the wind pushes it not as far, we'll still hit on the left side. So at least going for a hit right now. All right, so we hit him in the head again. We'll drop it down another little bit. Our windage looked good on that as well. Left edge seems like the way to go. Let's do one more. I'm going to hold belly button area. I was holding chest area, but let's go belly button area. And our SD could play a factor in this too. Straight into belly button.
Yeah, so we're dead on the money right now. There's another silhouette. Third from the left, second from the right. Let's try this guy out. And we will hold 0.4 to the left. That's just right off left edge. That's a center punch, straight in his heart right there. So that was dead nuts center. I wonder how well y'all can see it on the scope cam. To be honest, we're a one-man channel here. We pay for everything here with our own money. I bought a cheap Amazon mount, and I'm recording this off an iPad and a cell phone. So my phone's up on the scope cam. I'm not really sure how well it's coming through, but I'm hoping that it comes through at least good enough for y'all to see it. If the channel grows, I'll invest in some better equipment to start getting some good high quality video. But for right now, this is all that we got, and we're gonna make it work. We'll take a look at that same target. That's that second from the right silhouette. And again, we'll do a 0.4 hold on him. The Geissele SSA 2-stage, so we are going to take out this slack and we'll break our shot. Bink. That was a little low on him. And we just got bolt lock, so we are out of ammo. Let me take a quick break. I'm going to load up some more. I'll probably load up 15 or 20 more. And then we'll see what we can do on that 550 yard set once more. We'll do a little bit more shooting. All right, and we're back. We got a few more loaded up. And we are again at the 550 yard line. There is a diamond all the way to the left. Wind looks like it's died down just a tad. So we are going to hold. We're actually just going to favor just a little bit left on this target. See where we hit. All right, we impacted the diamond. Let's make our way to the right. We've got that silhouette. Second from the left. Wind's picking up a little bit. We're going to hold left edge. Nothing. Let's try one more. Dead center. We weren't holding far enough. We needed to hold, let's see that, 0.4 to the left. 0.5 to the left. Okay. Next silhouette. We'll do a 0.5 left hold. Impact, dead center. And then we have a really small diamond on the right hand side. It's probably, it looks a good bit smaller than the one on the, on the right hand side. It looks smaller than the one on the left side, but we'll try it. 0.5 to the left. Nothing. There's a bunch of bushes behind it too, so we can't see any splash or anything. Let's try it once more. See if we can hit it. Wind's looking like it's dying down just a tad. I'm going to back my hold off. I'm just going to hold on that left point on the diamond. Nothing. It's a small one. Let's see. Let's see if we can figure out where we're hitting on one of these bigger targets and see if we can go back and hit that one. So on the second from the left silhouette, we're going to hold left edge, see where this thing's hitting. Alright, it looks like we're on the top right of that plate with a left edge hold. So maybe we will bump it down 0.1 and then we'll hold between 0.5 and 0.6. Let's be complicated. Nothing. We gotta hit this thing. Let me give it just a little more. We'll give it a 0.7, 0.8 hold. Hey! We got it! We needed to hold a good bit more. Again, it's kind of small, so let's see if we can do it again. We still have ammo. Let's give it a 0.8 hold. Twice in a row. Okay, so yeah, we weren't giving it enough wind. These bigger targets, they're a little bit more forgiving when the wind starts picking up, but those smaller ones, they're kind of tough, huh? And I just brushed this mic twice, so that probably didn't sound good. All right, let's just finish out this mag on the silhouettes. Maybe we'll shoot at the silhouette second from left right now. Impact, and I held a 0.5 on that target, and I saw it hit on his right side, so it looks like the wind is pushing this bullet around further to the right than expected. So let's lit up. This is just going to be our last 5. I keep hitting this mic. But these are the last CCI 400s that we had. I bumped up to the CCI 450s, and just before shooting today, we went to the 100-yard range and we just did a quick velocity test and did a ladder test with 450s. So we will just touch base on that, but we look like we're going to have a load around the 2,700 feet per second range, and I think our SD on that was around 12 to 15. So a good bit better than this load, just a little bit faster and better SDs. So if we're hitting 2 MOA targets out here to 550 yards, I think velocity and ballistic coefficient is going to be our biggest factor when we push this thing to 1,000, if we even can. And again, we did the 880 today, so we'll see what we can do. Let's close the bolt and get these last 5 off. All right. The wind still looks like it's doing the same thing, so I'm going to shoot that target once more. That target second from the left. And I felt a breeze just kick up behind me, coming from about 5 o'clock. So we'll see what happens. I'll have 0.5 left on this guy. Dink. Target swung to the right, so we know the bullet impacted the target on the right. So let's do the same thing, but we'll push that hold from 0.5 to about 0.7, 0.8. Impact. It swung straight back, so it's safe to say this target's getting peppered up a little bit. I could see a lot of the steel underneath, so it's hard to see where we're hitting. Let's do another 0.8 hold on him. Impact. Easy money right there. All right, we got 2 shots left. Back to the small diamond. If we hit both of these shots, you have to subscribe. You have to share. It just has to happen. You just have to do it. You don't have to do it, but we're going to try. Wish me luck. So the wind's picking up again. I feel it from the back. I don't know what this is going to affect us at 550 on such a small target, but it looked like our holds are going to be fairly consistent. So let's do our 0.8 push to the left and hope for the best. Nothing. Let's try it once more. Last shot of the day. Nothing. And I think I saw some of the brush move just off to the right. So that's a bummer. I was hoping to get those last 2, or at least hit one of the last 2. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Be on the lookout. We are going to do just a general discussion, and we're going to update the load. We're going to let you know what we're going to shoot on this guy coming up. And now that we've kind of done some 550 yard testing, when we get our new load developed, we are going to verify our data out at this range, and then we will take it out to the 1100 yard range, and we're really going to try and push this thing out to 1,000 yards or just over. Anyways, thanks again. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your dog. Tell your dog I also said hi. We'll see you in the next one.